Oh man, so much going on this week. Let's get you updated with some up-to-the-minute projections for game week 29 while you build those lineups today. All right, in the micros, with Anthony Davis being down the last two games, we've seen the emergence of Jackson Hayes as a rim runner on a team with LeBron and Austin Reeves and guys who can really pass. He's a decent person to look at least this weekend. Only one game for the Lakers. He's got a 4L10 though. I've got his top end about 24.5 if he gets 26 minutes, which is kind of what he's been averaging the last two without Davis. We look at game logs, 26 and 40, so two high-end outliers in the last two games. As a 4, I don't think you can do a lot better than this, assuming Davis sits out again. Now, this last game was without Davis and LeBron. I'd expect LeBron back at least, and Davis may be back too, so this is one of those high-risk, high reward plays at a 4L10. You can make your lineup with a lot of really good players and stick him in the end, and if he can come up with right in the mid-20s, that's a great play. A little safer play, it looks like to me, is Jaden Springer in Philly. He's been getting in that 20-minute range, 15 to 20. I've got him at 17 minutes, which puts his high-end upside about 19.5. He's only a 5L10 this week. Only one game for Philly. They've had people in and out with injuries, but with Embiid down now at a 5, I think you can take a chance on that. Scottie Pippen is up to an 8 in Memphis. He's been playing mid-20s minutes and putting up some productive numbers. 2 games for Memphis over the weekend. Got him projected in the low 30s, so at an 8, definitely use him. But remember the last time Kennard came back, Pippen did not get off the bench, so there is some risk in that play. Jordan Nora, 2 games for Toronto. We talked about him. He's a 10. I think he's still going to get some minutes, even if RJ Barrett makes it back. He just played too well to go right back to the bench. Quickly looks like he's returned to practice, but that shouldn't really affect Nora. Nora's like 6'8", so he's a big wing. He's more of that Barrett role on the team than Quickly. So I haven't heard about Barrett returning to practice. He's got some knee inflammation. So 33.67 for a top-end projection on Nora. We've seen him do better than that already in bigger minutes. So we'll see what he gets for minutes, but at a 10, yeah, you can definitely use him this weekend, I think. He's got 2 games. As far as pricing on this tier goes, you can see McGee would be your cheapest option, but obviously your lowest upside too. Springer only $2.50. I think you might want to look at him. Nora still only $4.81. That's a decent buy because I've got him about the same place as Pippen. Only 2 points higher on the cap number and quite a bit cheaper. Jackson Hayes, if you want to take that flyer, $3.44. All right, 11 to 15 range. They finally gave our guy Lonnie Walker some minutes, and guess what? 39 and 46. God, I should be coaching an NBA team. I've got him pegged at 25 minutes. I think that's a high-end estimate. He may go back to lower minutes. Got Dorian Finney-Smith now a game-time decision. He's missed the last 2. That's been good for Walker, so we'll see what happens over the weekend. If Finney-Smith is still out, I expect him to play and play pretty well. 38 almost for a high-end upside. Only one game for Brooklyn, but he's so much above all the other guys in this range. I mean, I think you could use Osman. You could use Eubanks. You can always use Najee Marshall, although he only has one game. But Walker's upside is so much higher, I think you kind of almost have to go with him. Aaron Wiggins at 13. Filling in for Jalen Williams, getting more minutes. He got 25 last game. That's kind of where I expect him. I've got his high-end upside about 28.5. I think he's a good play this week with 2 games. Reggie Jackson in Denver with Jokic out yesterday and possibly out again this weekend. Reggie Jackson will have 2 games. He can get over 30 for you, I think, and a 14 is not bad. And then in Philly, we've got Mo Bamba. He's a 1.27 points per minute, gets a lot of blocks. He can certainly run up and down with the reserves and put up some points in garbage time. I think 33 is a decent estimate for him in this situation, and 18 minutes could be higher than that. Only one game for Philly, but again, he's so much higher than everyone else at 15. He's going to be your play. Got Aaron Holiday under $2. I'd not advise Aaron Holiday right now. His minutes are just too up and down. Reggie Jackson, $3.44. I think that's a good play. Aaron Wiggins, $3.89. Not bad. Lonnie Walker's up to almost $5 now, and Mo Bamba also right under $5. All right, 16 to 20. Cole Anthony's my top 16, although it's close. 2 games for the Magic this weekend. Still a point per minute. I expect his minutes to be in the high teens right now. That's kind of where he's been playing. He did have 1 game in the mid-20s recently. I'm just not sure what happened to his minutes. Bound to have a decent game here pretty soon. Top end right around 30. Eric Gordon in Phoenix blew out for 50 points the other night. He is a 17. I've got his high end upside of normal range around 33, so a good play at 17. He's got 2 games also. John Conchar's back with Memphis. Played 32 minutes last night. I've got him around 30, putting his high end upside at 35, so at 18 you can certainly play him. Jalen Suggs also in Orlando, down to 19. This was a big drop this week from I think 23. 30. 2 games for Orlando, just like with Anthony. Of course, he's getting more minutes. His projection's a little higher, so he's around 33.5. And then Thad Young in Toronto's getting his 20 minutes a night on average. Still putting up around 30 for a high end. Pricing on this group, Thad Young's $2.31. Not an exciting guy, and he's an older player, so that's why he's cheap. John Conchar, 3.5, underpriced if you ask me. Eric Gordon, 3.5, underpriced if you ask me. Cole Anthony, 416, and Suggs up to 694. All right, 21 to 25s. Andrew Wiggins leads the 21s. 2 games this weekend, high end of his normal range. I've got about 36.5. He's been playing big minutes. He's been playing a lot better lately, so I wouldn't be afraid to throw him in. Santi Aldama at Memphis playing huge minutes. He was questionable with a tailbone injury last night. Then he went out and played 37, I believe. Yeah, 37.5. Put up a 41-point performance here. 34 and 41, the last 2 for Aldama in bigger minutes. I'd expect him to be one of your better plays in the low 20s here. Right now he's 22. High-end upside, somewhere in that low 40s. And you know he can do it because he just did it yesterday. Spencer Dinwiddie in Brooklyn, just 1 game. This is pretty close here. I wouldn't fault you for going with Paul Reed with Max Strus even. At 24, Aaron Gordon obviously had a huge game with Jokic out. He was kind of playing the Jokic role. I think if Jokic is out again, Aaron Gordon becomes a great play this week, and we just don't know that for sure. I put his minutes at 30, but as you can see from his last game, played 39, put up a 56. That sticks out like crazy on his ledger. That's his best game of the season. So if you hear Jokic is ruled out before the Portland game tonight, before lineup lock, let's say we gave Gordon 39 minutes instead of the 30, bumps his high-end upside all the way into the low 40s, and of course he can do better than that because we just saw it. Either way, at 24, he's the best play. And then Brandon Miller in Charlotte at 25. Obviously, he's a lot more expensive because he's a rookie, but he's just playing huge minutes right now, 38 a night recently. 2 games over the weekend. I've got him in the low 40s as well. Some prices for you on these guys. Dinwiddie right around 5. Aldama 5.5. I think that's a good price for him. Wiggins at 8, 32. I think I'd pass there. Gordon, 925, might actually be worth it, depending on Jokic's status, and then Brandon Miller all the way up to $26, so that's a hard pass for me. All right, in the 26 to 30 range is where it gets a little bit more exciting. PJ Washington's been playing huge minutes in Charlotte. I've got him pegged for 36. That's about what he's been averaging the last couple of games. Puts his top end over 46 as a 26 L10. That's definitely playable, and he's got 2 games this weekend. DiVincenzo in New York. He's been playing right around 40 minutes a night recently, putting up enormous scores. His high-end estimate right now, I've got it just under 54. Just 1 game this weekend, but high enough above Aaron Nesmith's 43 with 2 games to make him the pick at 27. Malcolm Brogdon in Portland was great this week early, scored a 48. 28 L10, 2 games over the weekend, and a top end of 54 for Brogdon. Draymond Green, top end around 45, 2 games this weekend. He's a 29 L10. And then at 30, Anthony Simons, I've got over 50 as well, 52.5, 2 games over the weekend, and he would be a 30. So let's see some prices. Draymond Green's still very cheap, so if you're looking for a cheap option, he would be the best one for you this weekend in this range. PJ Washington still $5. I would be taking advantage of that. Brogdon, $6.24, still a great deal. DiVincenzo, too bad, $7.40, and then Simon's up over $10. All right, so quickly running through the projections on the blue chips. At 31, I have Devin Vassell and Jeremy Grant. Grant is a cheaper option. Both have 2 games. Almost 49. Keegan Murray, 2 games for him as well. He's at 33 L10. At 34, we have Jalen Johnson. He's up over 50. Also 2 games for the Hawks. He's 40s. And then De'Aaron Fox, still a great play. I'm still waiting for that big game from him. 2 coming over the weekend. Projection up over 61, so it's almost 62. He would be probably the play of the weekend again. 37 L10. I think it's coming. I just don't know when it's going to happen. Didn't happen this week. We have Fox is almost 62. We don't have anything that high until we get all the way up to SGA. 2 games for OKC over the weekend. And then after that 62.25, you'd have Davis, but he's been injured. I wouldn't trust him this weekend. And then you get into the Jokic at 73.79 and Luka at 86.5. 2 games for Jokic. Is he going to play? He's been out. Luka just the 1 game. Pricing on this level of players. Grant, like I said, $4.58. He would be the play at 31. Jalen Johnson just $5.95 right now. Pretty decent deal. Keegan Murray put up a huge game the other night. He's still under $7. Fox down a couple dollars from last week. He's 26. SGA still 64. Jokic 129 and Luka 173. So he's for the wealthy contingent of you bastards. All right. So there's your update on game week 29. Some updated projections. Good luck. We'll be back with game week 30 prep. Guys to watch over the weekend. Thanks for watching.